Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to OTS News. My name is me, Marky D. Pile driving marks since 1973. The biggest mark in the industry. Tonight on SmackDown, Bianca Belair chooses her WrestleMania 37 opponent for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Will it be Asuka? Will it be Sasha Banks? We may never know. But Bianca Belair better get in line like everybody else because the only EST of the IWC is JD from New York.
Let's see it. Got it.
News. I am your host, Marky T. Pile driving marks since 1973. The biggest mark in the industry. Titus O'Neil wanted me to pass along the word that whoever ordered an extra side of spicy mustard, we are all out of spicy mustard. Titus Catering exclusively serves here at the venue, but there is no more spicy mustard. Also, Titus wants to let everybody know that tomorrow's special for happy hour is a nice linguine and clam sauce, and the bar is packed full with craft beer. JD loves his cold beverages. If you want craft beer, JD's off the script is where it's happening. I mean, who really drinks Budweiser, man? Budweiser is like the Monday Night Raw of beers. Anyway, now that public service announcement is finished, when you hear the tones, when you hear that song come on the PA, you know what time it is. This is OTS News. I am Marky T. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to go down.
Let's see it.
The rebranding has begun! We are live, man! SmackDown tonight! Daniel Bryan wants Roman Reigns. I want the match to happen, but at Fastlane, no thank you, Bruce. No thank you. Bianca Belair finally announces her WrestleMania opponents. It is indeed the boss, Sasha Banks. But does it main event one of the nights of WrestleMania? And Apollo Crews is no longer in Titus Catering, man. He is of royalty. New gimmick, new character, new attitude. Apollo Crews is finally being used to potential. If you have not guessed it, ladies and gentlemen, this is the only post show you need. This is your SmackDown post show right here on Off the Script.
Finally, is mine.
Alive with it. People still What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your SmackDown post-show for Friday, February 26, 2021. The Mustang is parked outside. You guys got to stand in the rain, man. I'll let you in when it's nice and toasty. Titus is serving all night, and the craft beer is on ice, fresh. What'd you guys think of that intro, man? Did I do good, or did I do good, man? I told you it was coming. I told you the rebranding was coming. I told you we are taking the game to the next level. I'm not messing around. Everybody looks the same. Everybody sounds the same. Everybody feels the same. Just like I left you guys standing in the rain, everybody in the IWC is going to be waiting in the rain for a very long time while I'm sitting at the VIP table. I always wanted to change the game, and I finally have done so and will continue to do so. I can't wait. I can't wait. I am tired of everybody looking the same, feeling the same, and I'm not even done yet, man. I'm not even done yet. That is just a taste of what is to come. I love when people reach out to me and say, you know what, man, I listen to you and I become inspired to do this podcast thing myself. Ever since I got in the game, I've always wanted to inspire. I've always wanted to take it to the next level. I've always wanted to continue year after year to build and get better, looking back at what I could do better, making those corrections moving forward. This is exactly what that introduction is all about. That's what it represents. And that's the type of quality I'm going to continue to give you guys. And when all is said and done, the quality that you see in the IWC, I want you to think when you watch a Fightful, or you watch these Wrestle Geeks, or you watch anybody else in the community, and you see the basic shit that they're doing, I want you to come here and I want you to say, this guy's doing it right. This guy is better, leaps and bounds, visually, audio, better than everybody. Love it. Absolutely love it, man. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me over the years. We're going to talk about SmackDown tonight. I got some news and rumors. I got some news on Vince McMahon and WrestleMania. I got news on Cesaro. And we're going to talk briefly about all the geeks on social media who are now crying to me because of my latest endeavor. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. If Bobby Lashley wins the WWE title, by the way, which he should on Monday. God help us all if he doesn't. Bobby Lashley wins the WWE title on Monday. That Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre is not a WrestleMania main event. Just throwing that out there. That's a little fucking free throw, throwing that out there, okay? It's not a WrestleMania main event. Give me a break. We're going to go over that, as well as break down what Sasha and Bianca means. We're going to go over Daniel Bryan not getting Roman Reigns at Fastlane. Thank God. That would have been a terrible decision. Somebody knows what the fuck they're doing back there. And I tell you what, it's not Bruce. It's not Vince. Somebody knows what the fuck they're doing, and I'm pretty sure it's Daniel Bryan. So we'll go over that as well on the podcast today, man. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit that thumbs up. If that intro isn't worth the thumbs up, man, I don't know what to fucking tell you. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Hit the thumbs up. We should be over 1,000 thumbs up right now, man. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to super chat, the super chats are open. So get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show like we usually do. And if you guys are not following me on social media, thank you to all that have followed on social media. We are now 31,000 large on Twitter. We're growing nicely on Instagram as well, at JDfromNY206. Make sure you guys go and check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. Monday Night Raw, AEW Dynamite. We're here tonight for SmackDown. Tomorrow, off the script. Tomorrow's a big day, man. Tomorrow's a big day. Not only are you guys getting off the script at 5 p.m. and it's normal time, as long as Salrex gets me a thumbnail. Bro, listen. Get me the thumbnail, bro. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you out in the rain. I'll give you some Titus scraps. And I love Salrex. I'm only kidding, bro. I love you. But off the script tomorrow at 5 p.m. And tomorrow's a big day, man. Critiques and Connoisseurs. It's going live. Critiques and Connoisseurs, episode 1 with The Rock. He's not on the show, I wish. Talking about The Rock and his newest venture, Terramana Tequila. 1 p.m. it will be live. If you guys don't know where to find it, I left it right down in the description for you, man. Go and check it out. Subscribe. We are at 1.8K as far as subscribers go, man. I think we're at 1,800 or something like that. Well, close to 1,900. If we can get to 2,000 by the time we upload tomorrow, man, I'd be blown away. So if you guys have not subscribed to the Critiques and Connoisseurs YouTube channel, it is linked down below right now in the description. Open up a new window, go and hit subscribe, and you guys are going to get episode 1 tomorrow. And then recurring every single week, you're going to get all the episodes that Jason and I have recorded all season. With episode 2 being one of 2 episodes where we have a special guest. And let me tell you something, man. These guests are fucking great. I love both of these guys, man. So go and check that out. Link is down below in the description of the very video you're watching right now. If you guys want your merchandise, Bonfire is the home for all your t-shirts, bonfire.com. That is the exclusive home of Off the Script. Go get your masks, mouthmasker.com/OTS for your black Off the Script masks. If you guys want to support via Patreon, it's always open, patreon.com/JDfromNY206. And today's show is sponsored by the one and the only Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. I see that they got some new deodorant. That Dr. Squatch salesman sold me on deodorant, man. I got myself some deodorant. 3-minute video. I was watching something on Destiny today, and I seen a Dr. Squatch advertisement for about 3 minutes. Those long-winded commercials on YouTube. He sold me on fucking deodorant, bro. That Dr. Squatch salesman is a fantastic fucking spokesman. Just throwing that out there. Awesome at his job. Anyway, let's get into this SmackDown episode tonight. Let me see the news that I got. We got news on Cesaro, we got news on Edge, and we got news on Vince McMahon and WrestleMania. Something that we've seen at the Super Bowl, but Vince McMahon doesn't want to do it for WrestleMania. I guess we'll throw that in there somewhere along the way as we talk about SmackDown. But Roman Reigns, of course, the Tribal Chief, opens the show tonight. Roman came to the ring, talked about how SmackDown needs him and how the Elimination Chamber, the Abomination Chamber, needed him. He said he beat down Daniel Bryan like no one else ever has. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but at this point, Roman Reigns can say anything and do anything he wants because he's the fucking Tribal Chief. He said it would be, or would have been, a perfect night if not for Edge. It'd be a perfect WrestleMania if it wasn't for Edge. Edge challenging Roman anyway. Edge should be challenging Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre should have never lost the WWE Championship. Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns should be your SmackDown main event at WrestleMania. But what the fuck do I know, man? What the fuck do I know? He said now it's going to be Reigns versus Edge at the headline match at WrestleMania. You don't need that in your life, Edge. Neither do we. There are geeks out there that think we do, but we don't. You don't need that in your life, Edge. So I'm going to have to give you another opportunity to back out, scram, and go home. So let me get this straight. I love Roman. I think Roman's doing the best work in his entire life right now. Easily the most watchable thing on both of these shows. Easily the best thing on both of these shows every single week. But Reigns was wanting the match 2 weeks ago with Edge. Acknowledge me. Give me what I want. WrestleMania can't be a main event without Roman Reigns. Give me what I want. Acknowledge me. Yada, yada, yada. So he turns around this week, and now he's telling Edge to go home, back out, and scram. You have a beautiful family. You're a father. You're a husband. I don't want to hurt you, he says. I don't know who penned this promo, but, I mean, the inconsistencies. Come on, man. Did Bruce get a hold of Paul's pen? 1 week you want him, nah, you don't. But I guess he's just being a heel. So, he told Edge to understand and get it through that thick head of yours. A man like you just doesn't stand a chance against a man like me. They really kind of over-accentuated the piped-in boos. I can't wait for WrestleMania and live fans. I can't. I can't wait, man. These piped-in boos are absolutely obnoxious. All of a sudden, Daniel Bryan came out. He walked out smiling, which I didn't like. Daniel Bryan should have came out stone cold in the face because this guy fucked him over at the Elimination Chamber. Bryan got in the ring. He said he agrees it was a perfect night for Reigns. He said he deserves to be celebrated for volunteering, putting up his Universal title against someone who just went through a grueling Elimination Chamber. He said others, though, are in the back, and I'm hearing the rumors saying it was cowardly to defend his title under these circumstances. Now, he said Reigns' actions don't represent a real champion at all. Of course, Daniel Bryan would say that. He says he's not complaining, but he's just passing along rumors he's heard from other people. He said he wasn't expecting the head of the table to defend in the second match. He said he'd think he'd be in the final match, the main event. But that would have given me too much time, wouldn't it? He said he recognized how good Reigns was from the starts. He said people do compare them to each other. And obviously this is a reference to Daniel Bryan being revered and Roman Reigns being shit on at the start of the Yes Movement. Fans wanted Bryan as the face, and the fans did not want Roman as the face. Allah should be your WrestleMania main event. Then Daniel Bryan challenged him to a title defense at Fastlane. Jey Uso then got in Daniel Bryan's face, and Jey Uso cut a scathing promo. Really great stuff here by Jey Uso. And asked Bryan what he was doing. He said, Reigns beat him, so you, Us, get in the back of the line. So now he should deal with me, he says. Points at himself. He wants Uso versus Bryan. So be careful, or he's going to get God. So Reigns stepped up to Bryan, stared him down. After what I did to you, you really want me to hurt you again. Then Jey out of nowhere blindsided Bryan from the side, threw Bryan to the outside, and then over the ringside barricade. And all Jey Uso and Roman Reigns did was laugh. Now, I was expecting Daniel Bryan to pop up somewhere and start a brawl with these two guys and then get beat down in the beginning of the show, but he just laid there. So Jey Uso and Roman Reigns walk away as they throw Daniel Bryan over the ringside barricade. That's pretty much it. I mean, this was a great segment. I love the little tease of Bryan getting in Reigns' face. I was there from the very beginning, you and me. I gave you your first title shot, coincidentally, at Fastlane. And I love the little tease here. This is just a crumb from the cake of what we could really get between Bryan and Reigns. What we seen at the Chamber and what we seen here, there's a lot of history there, which I don't really understand why people are clamoring for an Edge-Roman Reigns match when Edge has virtually no story with Roman Reigns, but Daniel Bryan has all the story in the world. It makes me wonder how really stupid pro wrestling fans are. They're opting for what, in my honest opinion, is not even a dream match over something that is mired in history and was the complete downfall of Roman Reigns in the WWE, Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement. Oh, but Daniel Bryan's not booked up to get a championship match. Well, neither is Edge. He was out all year and comes back on one night and wins the Royal Rumble. The guy's done nothing. Daniel Bryan, it's easy to book him with some momentum. And the history there kind of trumps that. This was just a crumb of the cake, and it made me want to see more. Now, I was worried that WWE was going to give us Reigns and Bryan at Fastlane. I'm glad at the end of the night we didn't get that at all. And I kind of know where they're going with this. Because I mentioned something like this on tomorrow's show, but Edge wasn't a part of it. Now, I gave you what I would have done because I, in my own world, would have had Edge challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. But what WWE seems to be doing and where they're going creatively is the same way that I talked about this minus Edge tomorrow. So we'll see what happens, but we'll talk about that as we get to the main event portion of the show. But this was great stuff. Really gave me a nice glimpse into what we could potentially see. And no doubt about it, we will see Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan in a long-winded storyline somewhere in 2021 because we deserve it, they deserve it, the title deserves it. It needs to be told before Bryan semi-retires and goes home and takes care of his kids and his wife. It just needs to be done. Backstage, Sonya Deville was chatting with Adam Pearce when Edge walked up to them. He told Pearce, listen, bro, we need to talk. He wasn't pleased that Bryan was asking for a title match at Fastlane before he gets a title shot at WrestleMania, despite Bryan being the same Rumble, or Bryan being in the same Rumble that he won. So he wasn't pleased that Bryan was asking for a title match at Fastlane before he gets a shot at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, Mr. Edge. You don't know the rules. You might have been gone way too long. What don't you understand? WWE added an irrelevant pay-per-view to the pay-per-view calendar, Fastlane. I guess you got your wish, because Bryan is not getting the title shot at Fastlane. But at this point in the show, there was a pay-per-view entitled Fastlane. Bryan was fucked out of a title match because of Roman Reigns and his fuckery. So Bryan won the chamber, went 40 minutes, had to wrestle with a bum knee against somebody who was fresh as a daisy coming out of the back, immediately lost. It's not really fair. So he wants a title shot at a pay-per-view that WWE conveniently put on the pay-per-view calendar 2 weeks before WrestleMania. So what exactly are you complaining about? Who scripts this shit? Oh, I'm upset he's getting a shot over me. All right. Who do you want to wrestle? You want to wrestle Reigns? You want to wrestle Bryan? In this instance, I would rather wrestle Bryan because Roman Reigns is like a Greek god at this point. Untouchable. You ain't beating him. Edge and Bryan. If that was the case, I would actually advocate for Edge to beat Bryan. Who gives a shit? Bryan shouldn't be the world champion anymore. But if you guys want Edge to beat Roman, a little messed up there, man. You're a little messed up. Edge and Bryan, if that was the match, which we know it's not, who knows? They may end up doing a triple threat match. Who the fuck knows with these people? Who knows? They could very well do a triple threat match. We may end up getting Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley without Brock Lesnar. But we may get Edge, Bryan, and Roman at WrestleMania. It works. If everybody's advocating for Edge to be the Universal Champion, there's no way that Edge is pinning Roman Reigns. So if you guys want Edge to be the Universal Champion, adding Daniel Bryan to that equation may be his best bet. Because then he can pin Bryan, win the title. That'll keep Roman not pinned. Roman can win the title back next month. Or the month after that. Works for me. They very well could do that. Depending on if Lesnar comes back or not. Because I don't want to see 2 main event world title matches end up being triple threat matches. That's just lame. And Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley is not a main event WrestleMania match to me anyway. That's barely enough to main event a fucking Backlash show. Or Clash of Champions show. Or BDE Humberto show. Give me a break. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre is not a World Championship main event on one of the nights WrestleMania WWE title match. It's not. And if you think it is, you're fooling yourself. And you're a follower and not a leader. You think through other people's opinions because, hey man, I don't have an opinion of my own. It's not. If Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley happens at WrestleMania, it will not and should not main event one of the nights. It should not. Because Bobby Lashley, no matter how good he's been booked, has not been booked the way he's been booked for fucking Drew McIntyre. You fucking kidding me? If that was the case, then we didn't need The Miz to win the fucking title. Give me a break. I don't know what good it does for Drew to lose the title and then win it back at WrestleMania against Bobby Lashley. So what you're deeming is Bobby Lashley is greater than Brock Lesnar? What? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's not main eventing one of the shows. Nor should it. Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley is good for an undercard match. He's good in the Del Rio spot. If that is a one-on-one match, I'm advocating for Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair to main event one of the nights on night one. That's what I'm doing. Doesn't make any sense for Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley to be a one-on-one match. It's either Brock Lesnar or a bust. By itself, it's not a Mania match, with Lesnar included. It's a main event WrestleMania match. You get that Lesnar-Lashley dynamic. Lashley's the champion, right? And then you got that Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar dynamic playing off last year. Then you got Drew McIntyre pinning Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. And Lesnar could be there to add star power. Lesnar could be there to add it to the main event spot of WrestleMania. And he doesn't have to be pinned. Drew McIntyre can beat Bobby Lashley, take down the guy that's been dominant on Raw, win the WWE title, move on to whoever he's got to face next, which at this point is nobody because he's run through everybody. Which I don't see none of these geeks asking that question. Well, if Drew McIntyre wins the title from Bobby Lashley, what's next? AJ Styles? Seen it, done it, who cares? Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Randy Orton, Fiend, right? Monday Night Raw is in fucking shambles. Absolutely shambles. So that's my take on that. It's not a Mania match that I want to see in the main event. It's not. We've seen it last year. It's barely good enough to main event whatever fucking show was on last year. Now you want it again at WrestleMania because Bobby Lashley's been booked like a monster. So was Brock Lesnar, folks. So if you want Lashley in the main event against Drew McIntyre, most of you are saying that Bobby Lashley is greater than what Brock Lesnar did last year for Drew McIntyre. And that is a fucking sin amongst humanity to think that. And it shows me that you're a complete fucking idiot. That's what it shows me. You want what you want when you want it because everybody else is saying that's what it should be and you don't have a fucking penis of your own to fucking be a man and stand up for what's right. Bunch of pussies in this community. Bunch of fucking pussies in this community that don't know a fucking thing. WrestleMania right now, the way it is shaping up to be, is fucking mediocre at best. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, that's the best you got for WrestleMania? And I think Bobby Lashley's been booked perfect. Just give me Lesnar and Lashley and cut the shit. Cut the shit. Should be Edge and McIntyre, Bryan, Reigns, Sasha and Bianca, Lesnar, Lashley. What's so fucking hard? Open the checkbook, give it to Brock, have him write his own check, have him come in, give me 10 minutes, and boom. That's it. I don't know what the fucking problem is. I guarantee you Lesnar at this stage of his career doesn't even give a shit about who he works with. He just wants to get paid. Pay him. Pay him. Moving on. I got news on Edge. Edge was on Instagram. Edge shut down a fan, stupid, which this fan completely deserved it. Shuts down a fan for saying SmackDown is full of rookies. This guy clearly must be one of those WWE casuals who doesn't know what the fuck he's watching. So, a fan stated on Instagram that the SmackDown roster is full of rookies and Edge can't have any great feuds with anyone over there. So Edge saw this fan's comment and opted to reply. And he mentioned several superstars on SmackDown. Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, King Corbin, Big E, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens all say hi. So we'll have to see how WWE books Edge coming out of the feud with Roman Reigns. A loss. Unless Daniel Bryan gets added in a triple threat manner. But this guy clearly must have been from somewhere other than the United States, on the other side of the globe, who clearly doesn't know what the fuck is going on. An illogical goon is what he is. Moving on with the rest of the show, man. We got Jey backstage with Roman Reigns. He apologized to Reigns about jumping Bryan. Reigns says, listen, nothing to apologize for. As long as you get the job done and keep him out of Fastlane. Sounds pretty simple to me. Got a couple of ways to do that. DQ, count out, pin him, injure him, have the ref call the match. Multitude of ways for Jey Uso to make Roman Reigns happy there. Then they went back to Edge telling Pierce and Sonya Deville that the last he heard is that they were talking about him and Bryan facing Reigns and Jey on SmackDown. Pierce said things just came up. He said if Bryan beats Jey tonight, then Bryan can get a one-on-one match at Fastlane. He said no disrespect to Edge, but the Universal title match being on the line is a bigger attraction. Edge wasn't happy and said no disrespect. And then he walked away. Listen, if Daniel Bryan, and we'll talk about it later, if Daniel Bryan is not getting Reigns at WrestleMania, then Roman Reigns really doesn't need to defend the title 2 weeks before WrestleMania. You got a main event match right there in Daniel Bryan and Edge versus Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Sounds like a main event for a B-level, D-level, C-level, Humberto-level pay-per-view. Sounds about right to me. Why should Reigns defend this title 2 weeks before WrestleMania? That just sounds ridiculous when even thinking about it. Same thing goes for McIntyre. Or Lashley, whoever the fucking champion is over there. Dominik Mysterio and Booyaka 619. Booyaka Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable and Otis, who apparently now both are heels. So Otis and Gable win in 4 minutes here. Clean. Rey was fighting back against Gable, hit an Enziguri, tagged in Dominik. Graves said the Enziguri did not make much contact, but he had to get out of there anyway because he was being beaten down. Rey and Dominik double-teamed Gable and then hit Stereo 619's Booyaka. And Rey landed I never understand the dual 619s, man. It looks like one of them is doing something and the other is not. It looks like Rey or Dominik, whoever is hitting the one opponent, you may get one person getting impact, but the other 619 looks like he's just hitting the other guy doing the 619. These are just the things that I notice, folks. This is why I watch these shows the way that I do. So Rey landed a splash, got a near fall with Otis breaking up the cover. Otis caught Rey midair, power slammed him. He then landed a second rope, big splash for another pin. 1, 2, 3. Otis and Gable win in 4 minutes. Otis has got a long way going, man. He's got a long way to go. The best big splash in the business right now belongs to one Bronson Reed in NXT. His big splash is fucking phenomenal. Most devastating big splash I've seen in years. Bronson Reed. Awesome. Otis and Gable win. I really don't understand where we're going with this. What are Rey and Dominik doing at WrestleMania? Why is WWE now pushing Otis as a heel? Somehow, somewhere, someone thinks this is the right decision. What was wrong with him as a babyface? Why did you break him up from Tucker when they were an actual tag team to team in with Gable? You're only taking an opportunity away from Chad Gable from being a single, which he should be. He should be with the Apollos and the Big E's and the Sami Zayns in the mid-card, challenging for the IC title. Spice him up a little bit. You got a collegiate fucking real wrestler there in Chad Gable. You got a mini Kurt Angle in Chad Gable, yet WWE wants to pair him with Otis when Otis was already in a fucking solid tag team in his own right. Poor fucking Tucker. What are the Mysterios doing on SmackDown? Are we going to have Dominik and Rey Mysterio vie for the tag team titles at WrestleMania? More than likely getting a fucking multi-tag team match at WrestleMania because WWE's got to get everybody on the same fucking show. Anyway, Apollo Crews walked out. They went over the Big E attack last week, which was phenomenal. Absolutely love the attack by Apollo Crews. He stood middle of the ring with a green and white scarf that is now a signature of his new ring gear. Man, nothing sells me on a heel more than a fucking scarf. As soon as you had the scarf, bro, that's it. Solid. Done. Heel turn. He said people are wondering what's going on with him lately and why the sudden change. I mean, he was done with catering, man. He didn't want any more fucking linguine and clam sauce from Titus. He wanted championships. He wanted money. He wanted gold. Can't blame him. He said they're saying he's not the real Apollo Crews. So people don't really know him. He says he's been humble for far too long and respectful, but he hasn't gotten any respect in return. Maybe we should talk to Bruce about that. You know, while I'm listening to this guy, while we're on the subject, why? It makes me wonder what really is going on. And it makes me feel like whatever I said about Paul Heyman and Bruce Pritchard is really a factual thing. Why are we now seeing guys like Apollo and Cesaro get pushed on SmackDown? Shinsuke get pushed on SmackDown. Why are we seeing them now? Paul Heyman's not even in charge. Who is having this major influence more than Paul Heyman on the creative writing team? Is this a product of Daniel Bryan? But it's just amazing to me how Paul Heyman was removed from creative. He was put in a creative role, mostly creative role, because I know he's taking care of all that shit with Roman. He's the mastermind behind all this shit. Roman, I'm sure, has a part in it. Vince, I'm sure, has a part in it, but that's about it. But it's mostly Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is still creatively working with Roman Reigns, and I'm sure he's giving directive backstage to Apollo and to Cesaro and guys like that, Big E. But it's amazing to me how all these guys that were on Monday Night Raw, that the Raw writing team laughed at because Heyman wanted to push them, are now on SmackDown on the bigger show, and Paul Heyman's on SmackDown, and he's not in a creative role, and they're still getting pushed slowly but surely every single week. And I said it last week. I said it on Off the Script tomorrow. I'm going to say it again here in front of you guys. There's no doubt in my mind that this Apollo Crews storyline has Paul Heyman DNA written all over it. This is absolutely Paul Heyman influence. That attack with the steel steps where he was carrying the steps and dropped it over the ropes on Big E was all Paul Heyman. He will not convince me otherwise that Bruce Pritchard wrote that fucking segment. Bruce is out. Bruce was out to bury Apollo. Bruce doesn't give a fuck about Apollo. This is all Paul Heyman has to do with that Talking Smack segment. It might have been a work, but that was more like a fucking shoot on Talking Smack when Paul Heyman sat down with Apollo not once, but twice. We'll see what happens there, man. He says his family is from Nigeria, not the hood, not suburbia, Nigeria. I'm a real African American. Said his great-grandfather was royalty and controlled some of the richest land in Nigeria. He said he has 5 wives. Imagine that. He said that with pride. Like that's a good thing. 5 wives. There you go. 1 for each night of the week, I guess. He said his scarf represents dominance and power. He said when Big E told him to go back to Titus in catering, he didn't say Titus, but I'm just adding Titus because that's exactly where Titus resides, catering. He didn't. He said instead he went back to his roots. He said Big E will never disrespect him ever again. Shinsuke Nakamura will suffer the same fate, and that's when Shinsuke interrupted. And Crews attacked Nakamura as he entered the ring before the bell. We got another rematch. One thing Bruce knows how to do, man, is right fucking rematches. Apollo Crews versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Decent little match here. Wish I could see more of these two go in the ring. Maybe it'll happen under more important situations. But Nakamura gave Crews an axe kick. He gave him a running, sliding low clothesline. Went for a cover, only got a 2 count. Crews fired back with 3 unreleased German suplexes for a near fall. There was a German suplex that Apollo did earlier in the match where Nakamura almost landed on his head. He absorbed some of it on his head, but he mostly landed on his knees, which was quite scary. Nakamura's not a nimble fucking guy, but that was quite scary. So Crews got the 3 Germans, and then Crews escaped a sleeper from Nakamura, used his scarf to yank Nakamura into the turnbuckle. There you go, man. Nothing sells a heel turn like a fucking scarf. He then kicked Nakamura and finished him with an Olympic slam for the 1, 2, 3. Apollo Crews with the heel turn last week. One of the best segments of the week outside of whatever Roman Reigns is doing. This was a great promo by Apollo Crews. This Apollo Crews, and I've said this once, I'm going to continue saying it. This is an Apollo Crews I can absolutely get behind. This is great, great stuff. And I say it with a smile on my face. There's nobody to convince me that Paul Heyman is not a part of this heel turn on Apollo Crews. Excellent stuff. Tamina with Natalya versus Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott got jobber entrances. Tamina did as well because, let's be real. She's a jobber. This went 4 minutes. I don't know how anybody can invest in the women's division when everybody else is getting fucking main event spots and Tamina and Liv Morgan are getting 4 minutes with no introduction or ring entrance. So Tamina ended this with a Samoan drop and a spin out rock bottom, which did not look all that good for a win. And that was pretty much it. Another makeshift tag team of Tamina and Natalya being held together by Elmer's glue. Meaning that it'll fall apart in about 3 weeks. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Tamina. Nobody cares about Natalya. Nobody cares about women's tag team wrestling on this show. And I'm being frank with you. I'm being blunt with you. Honest. Truthful. It's not just an opinion, folks. These are facts. I'm sorry. The women's tag team division and the women's tag team titles are fucking worthless. For everybody that advocated for them, right? Oh, we got women's tag team titles. Where the fuck are you guys now that they're being buried into oblivion? Shayna and Nia is what you got. That's your best. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai take those titles next week, and I pray to the fucking tag team gods that they keep those titles in NXT. The main roster has absolutely devalued the tag team titles in the women's division. It's a waste. It's an absolute waste of fucking time. That's what it is. Bianca Belair is about to make her WrestleMania announcement. And we're going to go over that in just a second. But I want to shout out my sponsor for tonight's show, man. We got good old Dr. Squatch. We got good old Dr. Squatch, man. How many of you geeks out there hate being stereotyped as being a pro wrestling fan? I know there's a ton of you. I know there's a ton of you, man. Give me a bar of soap emoji in the chat if you guys hate being stereotyped as a pro wrestler or a pro wrestling fan. Some of you may be a pro wrestler. Dr. Squatch is going to change all that, man. You go on Bumble, you look your best, Dr. Squatch. Post a picture on one of these dating sites, Dr. Squatch. You go out to the bars now that they're open, Dr. Squatch. You got a girl walking by you in the club. Hey, you smell good. Dr. Squatch, man. Dr. Squatch is your best wingman. That's what I've surmised. Dr. Squatch is your best wingman. So why wouldn't you want to feel that way? I want you guys to look your best, feel your best, smell your best. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, you are already listening to the best. Did the intro not tell you anything? DrSquatch.com, man. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. That's all you gotta do. Cologne, deodorant, toothpaste, bars of soap, shampoo, conditioner, you name it, man. And it's all organic. It's all natural. All the shit that you're using, it's all artificial junk. It's made in a fucking science lab. This is natural stuff. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout to save 20% off. Man, I want to thank them for supporting Off the Script. Thank you guys very much. We got a lot of super chats going on here, man. What the fuck is going on with these super chats? I'm over here doing my business. And we got fucking super chats coming on in. We got a $200 super chat by Paul Wu. What the fuck? Oh my goodness, man. What is going on over here? Paul Wu, tonight, my friend, you are not a fucking goon at all, man. You ain't calling 555 goon for no tickets, man. I'm letting you into the VIP. Paul Wu. This fucking beast. Unbelievable, man. Listen, you guys love the intro. Wait till you see the fucking outro. You thought I was done with the intro. Wait till you see the fucking outro, man. Come on, bro. You thought that's all I brought to the table tonight. Fuck Roman Reigns, man. I'm the head of this fucking table. Moving on. We got Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville in the middle of the ring. Bianca Belair comes out. She's dancing to the ring, skipping to the ring in high heels. Thank Christ she didn't trip and fall. Belair said the same exact number of weeks, days, and hours since she won the Royal Rumble. If that doesn't tell you that woman is proud, I don't know what does. So we got a video playing about Asuka and Sasha Banks. Who is Belair going to choose? Belair said people have been waiting patiently for her decision. She said her mom told her life is about choices. She said choices you make define who you are. She said her choice is clear. And then she was interrupted by fucking Reginald, who walked out to the stage and said her mama was right. This choice will define her career in WWE. He said if Sasha is chosen, she will lose and be defined as a loser. Sasha then came to the stage, and I watched that documentary on the WWE Network with her and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Excellent stuff. Really makes me more of a fan when I see Sasha like that, in that light, genuine and very proud of what she's accomplished. And when she talks about important moments in her life and in her career, she starts to tear up. Just an unbelievable talent, this Sasha Banks. She yanked the mic away from Reginald and she got in his face and she was kind of flirtatious with the hair whip and getting in his face and all that stuff. She said, I thought I told you to never speak of me and get in my business ever again. So she shoved him to the side. Get out of here, Reginald, you fucking geek. I'll take a nice glass of champagne, chilled, please, okay? And then I'm going to boot you from the fucking venue. So she said she is the standard, and if she wants to make history, does Bianca, she needs to choose her at WrestleMania. She said she calls herself the EST of WWE, but she's the best and number one, which makes you second best. She let out that laugh that she does, that's very snarky, like laugh that she does, Sasha. She held up the title, and Belair said, girl, She said she's going to make Sasha eat her words on the grandest stage of them all, and she said she'll take her title and show the whole world why she is the BEST of WWE. She pointed at the WrestleMania sign, of course she did, and says she's picking Sasha Banks. Sasha, it's on! Had a stare down middle of the ring, and then Pyro went off, as if we didn't fucking know this was going to be the match at WrestleMania. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag right now, folks.
Oh, JD, who do you want to win against Sasha and Bianca, man?
Listen, folks. Bianca Belair should lose. Right there. Bianca Belair should lose. My question is, never mind that, I got a fucking question for your question. Where's Bayley going? That's what I want to know. Where's Bayley in this WrestleMania that you're having down in Tampa Bay? What's she doing? You mean to tell me you're going to leave Pamela out of this? Give me a break. Bayley deserves a WrestleMania match just as much as these two. So I'd love to know what she's doing at WrestleMania. If it ends up staying a one-on-one match, you know WWE loves their multi-person WrestleMania matches. Sasha wins. Sasha wins. Or if you want to add Bayley to the triple threat match, make it a triple threat match, Bianca can pin Bayley, win the title, Sasha can win Money in the Bank, cash in on Bianca, turn heel, and then she wins the title back. Goodbye. I don't think Sasha to lose that title. She hasn't done anything with the title. How could you justify this SmackDown women's title reign from Sasha Banks when she's defended it only against Carmella and has had matches with Reginald? And I don't think WWE is going to do anything for Sasha going into WrestleMania. This is a title run that you're deserving of? I don't think so. Or Sasha's deserving of, I should say. That's what you expect from WWE's top female performer? Carmella? and nothing else? If anything, it shows you that the SmackDown Women's Division is fucking terrible outside of Bianca, Sasha, and Bayley. Sasha and Bianca, great match. Sasha should retain. If Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley is a one-on-one match, then this match should main event night one of the show. If Brock Lesnar's involved in Lashley and McIntyre's match, making that a triple threat match, then this is not main eventing the show. The WWE title is main eventing night one. So that's where I stand on that. Bianca winning over Sasha, I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. Stop wanting to give everybody immediate gratification. What has Sasha done? Has she done enough with the title to where she takes the title, gives it to Bianca? Is Bianca going to be better off for it? Then what does Bianca do? Do we go right back to Bianca and Bayley? And then what happens then? Where does Sasha go? These are questions, man. What is Sasha going to do? You got to think. Stop wanting, because when you want, more than likely you're going to fall into one of Bruce Pritchard's logic gaps. And we don't want that. You got to ask these questions. I ask these questions because, quite frankly, who the fuck is going to ask them? I don't think many people will. Baron Corbin was backstage. He pushed the Sami camera crew away. Sami walked in and agreed they were too close to Corbin. He asked Corbin what he thinks about the conspiracy of WWE management against him. Corbin asked why they're tag team partners. Sami said it was his idea. Sami said that they don't get along, but they have excellent in-ring chemistry. He said he could really use a big win after being robbed recently. He said if they work together, they could beat the Profits and become champions with his strategic ability and strength. He said they could even come up with a tag team name like the New Can-Am Connection or the Kingdom of Liberty. Corbin told him to shut the fuck up. He agreed that they could become tag team champions. Awesome. This is where we are right now with tag team wrestling on SmackDown, folks. Pairing Sami Zayn and Baron fucking Corbin as a makeshift tag team. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, or I should say Tamina and Natalya, both of those tag teams are fucking glued together with Elmer's glue. This is a tag team duo held together by Scotch tape. On what planet does this make it right? I don't understand this. He told Sami not to ever tell him what to do. He told the crew to stop recording. Corbin told Sami to be a professional, shoved the camera guys away, and walked away. So we got the Street Profits versus Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin. So we got Profits winning here in 8 minutes. Early in the match, they showed Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler watching on the monitor backstage. You might not really grasp this, but they are the tag team champions. You might have wondered where those belts were. Jesse texted me today. He's like, who are the tag team champions on SmackDown? And then he came to the realization that they were on Ziggler and Bobby Roode, and he said, oh, no wonder they're still irrelevant. I know. So Cole had said that Corbin and Sami have been dominating in the match. As we went to commercial break, we're back from break. Corbin had Ford down, keeping him grounded. Ford leapt over Sami and hit Corbin with a flip dive onto the floor like he usually does. Dawkins gave Sami a neck breaker and then tagged Ford back in. So he got the tag, came in, neck breaker to Sami, tagged Ford back in. Ford landed a top rope frog splash for the win. And Baron Corbin was yelling at Sami Zayn about his documentary crew after the match was over, shoving Sami Zayn into the steel steps. And then Cole said it would be great to see this part of the documentary. Great. Profits win in 8 minutes over a tag team that's not really a tag team. Folks, I'm going to break it down for you in the simplest ways that I can here. Why was this match booked? And why did WWE book Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin as a tag team for the Street Profits? Well, to be quite honest with you, there are no other tag teams on SmackDown. And for all the geeks out there on social media to justify the Street Profits getting another match against Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, the Street Profits needed a win over a tag team. It didn't matter who that tag team was. They needed a win. So enter Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn. They got the win over a makeshift tag team, which gives them, the geeks, all the justification that they need for the Street Profits to now go and challenge Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler once again for the tag team titles. Am I on the right track, Bruce? Merge the fucking divisions. What a joke. Fucking ridiculous, man. This is tag team wrestling on SmackDown. Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn. When the Street Profits get that tag team title shot, I'm going to be right back to where I was on day one. They don't deserve it. Who the fuck have they beaten? When they win the titles, what's next? Otis and Gable? No wonder they turned them heel. I could see that actually happening. Kayla Braxton interviewed Daniel Bryan about his match against Uso. She said he might actually be facing Edge at WrestleMania as a defending champion. Bryan said that's a long ways away, but he's got to beat Uso tonight to get there. And then Reigns at Fastlane to get there. So he has more confidence in himself beating Reigns than Edge beating Reigns. He said Edge is a Hall of Famer, but he was gone for a long time and might be a little rusty. Edge walked in and said if Bryan were to beat Uso and Reigns, then they'd wrestle each other at WrestleMania. Edge asked, well, if that is the case, if it's me and you at WrestleMania, then who would win that match? And then Bryan said, you know, I'd rather keep that answer to myself, as it's fun to talk about all the possibilities. He said the focus tonight is on Jey Uso. That would probably be the only way that Edge wins the world title is against the Daniel Bryan. So for all the Edge geeks out there, all the Edge heads out there, if that match was to happen with Daniel Bryan, you would probably be rooting for Daniel Bryan because that would be an easy win for Edge. Because he ain't beating Reigns. Seth Rollins made his way out with his baby face, burn it down theme music. Embrace the vision is the new slogan for Seth Rollins. Yes, embrace the vision. Embrace the vision of Rollins. A non-entity on this show. Did you even realize that Rollins was back at this point in the show? SmackDown is not better or worse with or without Seth Rollins. So Seth was in the ring. Says he has incredible news for everybody. He said the letter of complaint he sent to WWE last week got a huge monumental response on social media. He was quickly interrupted by Cesaro. Seth said that's just the man he wanted to talk to because they need to put some water under the bridge and work out some disagreements. Cesaro marched to the ring. Seth told him to trust him and give him a chance to make things right. He said what happened 2 weeks ago was an accident, and he didn't call him a loser last week, and it was misconstrued on Twitter. Seth asked Cesaro to stand center of the ring. Let me explain it to you. He said Cesaro was a star, and he'll make it up to him. Look at you, he says. Who says you can't grab the brass ring and crack the ceiling? You're a star, strong and powerful. You're easily one of the most gifted performers in WWE history. But I'm asking you, friend to friend, why does it always seem like you come up short? What is it that you're missing, Cesaro? He says. Seth said the answer is killer instinct. Bruce Pritchard has killer instinct. He loves to kill people's careers. Bruce has it. Why doesn't Cesaro have it? I don't know. Seth says he has it, but Cesaro doesn't. He says he can give it to Cesaro. He says he came back to SmackDown to lead it into the future, and he will start if he lets him by leading him. Says he's grabbed the brass ring and shattered the glass ceiling and accomplished everything in WWE that Cesaro has only dreamed of. Says he wanted to give it to him. Imagine you and me working side by side on SmackDown. We would be unstoppable. He said he would be standing there as the Universal Champion, but he turned him down and walked out on him. He says it's not too late to embrace the vision. Let me lead you. Embrace the vision. What do you say, my friend? You don't have to answer right now. Take a week. Take 2 weeks. We'll be here waiting for your answer. Cesaro said, fuck you. He said nothing really, but the fuck you came in the form of a Cesaro swing, which might have been one of the biggest Cesaro swings that he's ever done because he never let go. It took a while for him to let go. He then delivered a European uppercut, and Cesaro laid out Seth Rollins right there. He made his way to the back. Bryan's music played. He did the yes chant as Cesaro looked on and did the yes chant with Daniel Bryan as he made his way out for the main event. Listen, man, I'm not going to complain. If we're getting a Seth Rollins and Cesaro match at Fastlane, by all means, I'll be sitting down with my cold beverage and my popcorn. That sounds like a great match. Does Cesaro get the one-up on Seth? Probably not. But will we be entertained as far as pro wrestling goes? Absolutely. Where does Cesaro go into WrestleMania? I have no fucking idea. Absolutely no idea. This may be it. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania? I don't know, man. They gave you that little tease about Bryan and Seth a couple of weeks back. I was hoping that wasn't the case. Seth Rollins even mentioned Big E last week. So I don't know what they're doing with Cesaro. Cesaro and Seth sounds like a damn good WrestleMania match. You have Cesaro get the win over Seth at WrestleMania, have Seth beat him in his first match back. Makes sense to me. Give Cesaro a big WrestleMania win over Seth Rollins. I'm for that. Sure you guys would be as well. Then Big E, I actually pitched for Big E to defend the title against Seth Rollins. But if they're going to do Cesaro and Seth, which could be the case, I'm not really sure. I don't think WWE even knows what the fuck they want to do. Seth versus Cesaro. Then we get Big E versus Apollo. Apollo could take the title from Big E. They can continue their storyline. Bryan, we could be looking at Bryan getting added to the Edge and Roman Reigns match, making it a triple threat match. Everybody gets what they want. And you guys may get Edge as WWE Universal Champion at the end of WrestleMania, which I still don't agree with. But as long as Roman Reigns is not being pinned, I'm all right. I'm okay with that. Bryan gets in the main event. Edge walks out, gets the big hero celebration. Roman Reigns doesn't take a pin. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Then we could get Bryan and Edge in a one-off or whatever the case may be. Or you want to wait and do Bryan and Reigns when Reigns wins the title back from Edge. So be it. Could be fun. But this Seth is, listen, go back to the old Messiah theme. It's like they forgot this guy had new theme music. The babyface theme music does not work with him coming out acting like fucking Jesus Christ, like the savior of SmackDown. It doesn't work. Give him his old music back. Why did we take that away? It actually worked. That's the only thing I could say about Seth Rollins. Other than that, it's fine. Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso. If Bryan wins, he gets a Universal title match at Fastlane. That was the main event of the show. But before I get into that, man, I got this one news story about Vince McMahon against using cardboard cutouts at WrestleMania. All this WrestleMania talk tonight. Vince McMahon is against using cardboard cutouts at WrestleMania. This is according to Fightful Select. Vince McMahon is not in favor of using cardboard cutouts at WrestleMania to fill in the crowd. Plenty of people are pulling for them to use this idea because it would help with the overall look of the show. Now, I would be the first to tell you that I think the cardboard cutouts look fucking ridiculous. But I watched the Super Bowl, and I looked at that stadium, the way it looked aesthetically, and I thought it looked fine. They didn't really focus in on the crowd all that often, but from an aerial shot, it looked like it was filled. WWE can make some easy money because you know there'll be geeks out there that want to pay $100 to have their face or their body imprinted on a cardboard cutout to be sitting virtually at WrestleMania. And then the Super Bowl did it where you would pay $100, $150, whatever it is, to sit there virtually, and you would be placed in a pool to win tickets to Super Bowl next year when hopefully things are open up for business. WWE should do that. That way you can have the aesthetic feel of Raymond James Stadium being filled on both nights. You're making all that extra money that you wouldn't be making from the ticket sales. Then you get to give away, if you want, WrestleMania tickets next year with paid airfare and hotel. So Vince McMahon is against this. There are several names pushing for them to be used in a similar fashion because of how full the venue looked, including multiple that have contacted us at Fightful. They are in awe of the visuals and how they came off. However, we've been told that, at least initially, Vince McMahon himself was not in favor of them. Cardboard cutouts helped the Super Bowl, and WWE's planning to bring in more fans than they had for Super Bowl. So they had about 25,000. I'm assuming Vince is probably going to up it to 30, maybe 35. Who the fuck knows? So if he's not in favor of the cardboard cutouts, then Vince is probably thinking, I want to fill this shit as close to what I can on both nights. But Vince McMahon is going to do what Vince McMahon wants. He says, what he wants to do. It's his show. This is his baby, WrestleMania. If he doesn't want cardboard cutouts, he doesn't want cardboard cutouts. But I think if he doesn't want cutouts, there are going to be more people than originally reported inside night 1 and night 2 of Raymond James Stadium. Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso. Bryan wins. He gets a Universal title match at Fastlane. Double countout is what happened here. So Bryan went for a running knee. Jey Uso countered with a chop block. The knee was the issue. So Jey shoved Bryan into the turnbuckle, went back working over the knee with a half crab. He slammed him into the table before a commercial break. So the knee from the chamber was still the story in this match. Consistency. Continuity. Bruce, is this you? Probably not. It's probably eating in catering. Fucking 3 slices of cheesecake, that fat slob. So Jey countered with a chop block for a near fall. Bryan went for the running knee. Jey got the chop block. Bryan met Jey on the top rope and landed a butterfly suplex. He then went for a yes lock. Jey grabbed the bottom rope to force a break. Jey reverse whipped Bryan into the ringside steps on the outside. He dropped Bryan over the ringside steps, knee first, and they were both counted out. So Bryan is not getting a Universal title match at Fastlane. Jey Uso did the job. Great. So that means we're not getting Bryan and Reigns at Fastlane. It's not going to be a one-off, because if it was a one-off, Bryan would lose, get to the back of the line, Reigns goes to Edge. So we're getting a good end of the deal here, folks. We're not getting Bryan and Reigns in a one-off. We're not getting Reigns to defend the Universal title at Fastlane. And Edge is not getting a one-on-one match with Roman Reigns, from what I gather, which is great. Because there's no way Roman Reigns can take a pinfall or lose the title clean, which is what I am about. So what does this mean? It looks like we are getting Bryan still continuing the chase of Roman's Samoan tribe here. He still wants a piece of the head of the table. He's not getting into Fastlane. So what we're going to get, being that Fastlane is just a couple of weeks away, we're getting Bryan and Edge versus Uso and Reigns in a tag team match, which is great for a Humberto level pay-per-view, because this pay-per-view is coming 2 weeks before WrestleMania. Reigns shouldn't really be defending the title 2 weeks before WrestleMania. So we're getting a tag team match, and this is great. It could be Bryan, it could be Edge teaming up, it could be Edge and Christian. Who the fuck knows? We don't know. There were rumors that Christian was coming back. Maybe they save him for after WrestleMania. I don't even think he's needed here. Bryan is all you need. The story of Bryan and Reigns mixed with Edge could make for a great story. You got that Bryan Reigns dynamic. You got that Bryan Edge dynamic. Kind of getting on each other's nerves. Who's better than who? You think you could beat me? No, motherfucker, I could beat you. That could be a fun little dynamic there. Edge and Bryan versus Reigns and Uso at Fastlane. And then we get Bryan lobbying somehow, getting involved, because Edge won the Royal Rumble. He's in that match already. So Bryan can do something to get involved. What that is, I don't know. Make it a triple threat match. If it's a triple threat match and we get Edge, Reigns, and Bryan included, then that opens up Edge to pin Bryan at WrestleMania. That could be something that could continue after WrestleMania. Edge is not having to pin Roman at WrestleMania, wins the title, gets the hero's welcome. There you go. This is a situation that's better for everybody. It's better for me, better for you, better for Reigns, better for Bryan, better for Edge. It's great. I don't see why you wouldn't do that. After the match was over, Bryan applied a yes lock in the ring. Reigns attacked Bryan out of nowhere. Bryan fought back, put Reigns in the yes lock, but Jey super kicked Bryan in the face. Reigns waited for Bryan to stand up, and he hit a spear, followed by a guillotine, and he held the Universal title over Daniel Bryan's broken down, beaten body as the show went off the air. So that's pretty much that, man. That was SmackDown tonight. Not bad. Not bad. We got the Edge, Bryan Reigns stuff, which is good. The Apollo stuff is good. Everything else, the Sasha and Belair stuff was good. Other than that, I mean, you got a beginning, a middle, and an end. Everything in between was pretty much worthless on this show. But that is the SmackDown review, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, we got SmackDown in the books tomorrow. We got Off the Script. Make sure you guys tune in to the show tomorrow, 5 p.m. And then Critiques and Connoisseurs at 1 p.m. Man, it's going to be a big upload day. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be great. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, man, at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Hit that thumbs up, man. We are 661 thumbs up. Let's get them up. Let's get close to 1,000, man. As close to 1,000 as possible. Get your t-shirts, get your masks, patreon.com/JDfromNY206. And check out all the other videos that you might have missed this week if you did indeed miss any of the content on the channel this week. Let's hit these super chats, man. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out. Justin Shriplin with a $9.99 super chat. I know you said you don't watch NXT UK, but any chance you'll check out next Thursday's episode, which will feature Kaylee Ray defending her NXT UK title against Meiko Satomura? Justin, no. I'll watch a clip on YouTube. That's about it. I got other things I want to do in my Thursday afternoon than fucking watch NXT UK. Toxic Banana, 99. With a $1.99 super chat. Wow, so you have us waiting in the rain now. Listen, bro, you're all invited to walk on in, man. There's a 5,000 person capacity in the club, man. Don't worry about it. You'll get in. I got Titus. I got craft beer. I got the nice heat. Get yourself out of the cold. It's a fun time, man. Live music acts. Come on. I got you guys, man. Popo Jr. with a $5 super chat. Raw sucks so much. Both Rumble winners went to SmackDown. Good evening, OTS. Popo Jr. I didn't know how true your statement was until I read it out loud. Raw sucks so bad, both Rumble winners went to SmackDown. They know what's up. Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. Love the new intro, JD. Keep doing big things. You're a part of it, brother. All your support is definitely a part of it, man. I appreciate you. Listen, man, when we get back out to town or one of these events, or if I hold a meet and greet, bro, listen, Jacob, drinks are on me, bro. Drinks are on me. Bread Pie with a $2 super chat. Wednesday was my birthday. Did your mother bake you pie, bread? Happy birthday, goon. Man of 1,005 holds. $5 super chat. Unlike WWE, who promises half-ass changes, you continue to adapt and evolve. 10 out of 10 for that intro. The JD effect has begun. This fucking guy. Look at this guy in the chat. I see Big Odge over here with a $4.99 super chat. He doesn't even leave a fucking message because he knows what's up. Can't wait for next week, brother. We're going to film. We're going to make it big. And we got Screwball peanut butter whiskey that I haven't opened yet. But I can't drink as much as it did that other Saturday where we recorded, man. I didn't feel too good the next day. Ben N. $4.99 super chat. Loved what Apollo Crews did tonight. I think them representing or presenting more characters in a more serious way will be what helps the intrigue of the show grow. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Tribal Chief with a Canadian $5 super chat. Do you think a good way to take the title off Reigns is to make the Money in the Bank mean something? Build up the winner and cash in on Reigns? No. Depends on who the babyface is. Depends on who the babyface is. If it's a Daniel Bryan, then yeah, I'd love that. I think that'd be awesome. Maybe that's the way Bryan gets the title. Maybe that's the only way that Reigns loses the title. Bullshit. What Reigns has done to Bryan, Bryan's gonna do to Reigns. Could tell a great story. Reigns came out, had Bryan wrestle him after a 40-minute elimination chamber with a bum knee. Bryan can win the Money in the Bank, do the same thing to Roman Reigns. Got a fucking story written all over it, man. JDE with a $10 super chat. Thanks as always, my man. I just wanted to say that I wish people would please stop psyching themselves up into believing that just because you win the Royal Rumble, you should always go over WrestleMania. Listen, bro, the community are a bunch of half-assed idiots. They don't know what the fuck they want. They don't know what is right or what is wrong. That's why I'm here. Come on, man. Get this guy out of the fucking chat. Fuck Taiwan. Get him out of the chat. Raging Girl Gamer with a $10 super chat. Alicia Fox is a legend. Rage, the intro tonight was more of a legend than Alicia Fox. Paul Wu with a $200 super chat. He is not a goon tonight. He is a VIP. Paul Wu is sitting at the VIP table in the back of the club. We got the concierge coming over. We got the butler coming over. We got cold drinks all night long, Paul. What do you want? A little bit of the bubbly. You want some champagne? I got some Dom Perignon on ice in the office. You want a craft beer from Belgium, bro? The best and the finest in the world. What do you want? $200 super chat, Paul Wu. JD, you are a fucking legend. I'm so proud to see how your channel has grown. JD and the OTS family are the smartest wrestling fans in the IWC. Clip it! You better fucking believe it! Shout out to JD, at Raging Girl Gamer, at Hoolagrim, at Edgar Estrada for making weekly live streams so fun and pleasant. Here's a small contribution. Paul Wu, you fucking beast, man. You're a fucking beast, brother. Thank you so much, man. I gotta get me some new tunes for the super chat section, man. I gotta keep it in constant rotation. It's tough to find some good 80s, you know? Raging Girl Gamer, $10 super chat. Charlotte Flair needs to be on Raw and SmackDown so she can carry the entire women's division into greatness. Roman Reigns is terrible. Oh, man. You think you're gonna get me with one of these, huh? I don't know. Maybe one day you will. Maybe one day you will. You're still a VIP in my book. Bread Pie with a $2 super chat. Me and Nakamura have the same birthday. Awesome. Maybe I should set up a surfing date with you and Nakamura. You can surf the blue oceans of Orlando, Florida. Bro. Cool Jags with a $4.99 super chat. I wouldn't mind a triple threat match at WrestleMania. Bryan versus Edge versus Reigns wouldn't be a bad match at all, in my opinion, as long as Edge doesn't win. Listen, it would be an easier pill to swallow for Edge to win the title if he's pinning Daniel Bryan, and then that would cause Roman Reigns to, I guess, amp up his heel turn, or his heel run. I don't mind it. That is, if Bobby Lashley does not get Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. I don't want all these triple threat matches, man. One triple threat match is all right. Then you start doing 2 and 3, just add everybody to the fucking show because WWE is creatively fucking stupid. One triple threat match. I would prefer a one-on-one match between champion and challenger at WrestleMania. My boy Big Hodge with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. CNC tomorrow, guys. Subscribe. CNC, Critiques and Connoisseurs. Channel is in the description. Let's try and get for 2,000 subscribers, man. 2,000 subscribers. Where are we at? Somebody fill me in. Prince, $4.99 super chat. What's up, JD? Fire intro. As a black guy, I'm glad to see other black people having major roles in this company, especially going into Mania. Hope they keep it up. Me too, bro. Apollo, Big E, Sasha, Belair, Keith Lee, hopefully. Ricochet, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Big Ben, $24.93. A $5.93 super chat. Hey, JD, what happened to the Sephiroth poster that was on your back wall? How did you get it originally? And what did you think of the Final Fantasy VII Remake? Thank you. Sephiroth is in my other apartment in New Jersey, number one. Number two, how did I get it? eBay. Found it randomly. I don't even think it's made anymore. And what did I think of the Final Fantasy VII Remake? Best game of my year for 2020. They need to make part 2 now. JDE, $5 super chat. Love Banks' Broken Skull Sessions. Love how ambitious she is, absolutely. I love Bianca, but I really hope Sasha wins at Mania while giving Bianca the rub. I hope that's the case as well. Bianca should not be the champion yet. Bro, we got another 100 to go, man. There's gotta be 100 of you in here that haven't subscribed to the CNC. Like, what the fuck are you waiting for, man? We're at 1.9? Come on, bro. Kevin Castle says, never take wrestling advice from certain folks in the community or dating advice or bathing advice. Brother, I absolutely agree, man. I absolutely agree. Bathing advice? Half of these fucking geeks got 6-month-old pizza crusts underneath their bed. Right next to their blow-up doll, Molly. Or in this case, they probably named it after Alexa Bliss. Then they got a nice little fucking pin doll, whatever the fuck they call, voodoo doll, of Ryan Cabrera next to their bedside table, stabbing him.
I fucking hate this Ryan Cabrera. He took my woman.
They do the same thing with fucking Mikaze and Sasha Banks. They probably got Mikaze voodoo dolls next to their fucking bed.
Fuck this guy. He's got my woman. I went to high school with her. How does someone like that get Sasha?
Listen, do you want to know why it happened? Because Mikaze's a fucking beast. That's why. How did he get Sasha? He's just better looking than you, bro. That's all. I don't see the problem here. Sasha's got good tasting guys. That's the fucking problem, right? You couldn't make the list. Glorious Nation with a $10 super chat. What's up, JD? What are your recommendations for best equipment for podcasting or making a podcast better? And for thumbnails. By the way, Nigerian Apollo Cruise is finally here. Glorious. It's all subjective, man. Start out loving wrestling. Do it for fun. Never start out doing something with the intent to make money. It's not going to happen, and you're going to end up disappointing yourself. For someone with a small budget, go out and get a Logitech C920 camera. I think they go for about $99. Get yourself a blue snowball at Best Buy. You can buy all this stuff at Best Buy. $49. You want to up it to a $99 USB mic, get a Blue Yeti. What I use is a Rode Procaster microphone. I got a Shure SM7B at the other place. I got a Rodecaster Pro mix board where all my audio goes in and comes out. And I got an Elgato Stream Deck right here for all my streaming needs. I mean, listen, I got advanced stuff here. I'm not saying you gotta go out and get advanced stuff, but It is what it is, man. Start off small. And don't do it for money. Just do it because you love to do it. And be yourself. People will come. I've never changed at all about what I've done. I've always been myself. People are not going to like you. Jesse texted me. Look, Jesse, I'm reading this fucking shit live on the air. Bryan Zayn waited until you started the super chats before he started his live stream. Zayn knows. Zayn knows not to fuck with OTS, bro. Because he'd be buried like Monday Night Raw's buried in the ratings. And I love Bryan Zayn. Bryan Zayn's fucking great, man. Him and I, me and Solid Monster, Bryan Zayn, and a bunch of other people did karaoke in Vegas, man. It was a great fucking time. I was half drunk, and I got Solid Monster to try and sing Bawa Ta Ba by Kid Rock, which was a complete failure. Maybe next time it happens, I'll get Solid Monster to sing some Cannibal Corpse, man. I'd have to be fucking blasted at that point. Thumbnails. Salrex. Let's go through Salrex. Nomad Jordan, Content Creations. $2 super chat. You updating intro vid? Yes, I am. That's in the works. Nomad Jordan, Content Creations. I have a red 8K to shoot. Bro, listen. That's great for you. I got Big Hodge. I don't need an 8K to shoot. All I gotta do is call Hodge up. Bro, I need an intro. He'll make time on an off day, and boom. I got the best in the business. What do I need 8K for? Mr. Cake, $2 super chat. JD, Roman with a yellow UV title to go with his glove. His glove. Glove. I don't like that the Universal title is blue, man. I never liked the blue title. What WWE should do is bring back big gold. That's what they should do. All these titles look like fucking toys, man. They don't even look like championships. Big logo on the title. There's no difference between them. None. We got Winston Williams with a $9.99 super chat. How about Bryan versus Edge at Fastlane? Bryan wins. He's in the match at Mania. And what does Roman and Jey do? We could get Edge versus Bryan on SmackDown. We don't need it at Fastlane. Build a big SmackDown around it. Ratings. Well, maybe they do the tag team match and then they do that match, but then it leaves Roman and Uso off the pay-per-view card. But at this point, who gives a fuck? Really, who gives a fuck? Haraya from Society with a membership to the channel. Thank you, brother. You are now in the VIP section of the nightclub, bro. Appreciate you. Who's texting me? Hodge working. If we land this, oh my goodness, man. Holy shit. Big Hodge with another $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Kevin Stallman with a $5 super chat. How the almighty Monday Night Raw has fallen. Nearly 8 million in May 1999, down to 1.56 in 2020. Wow. Just wow. Raw is the worst show on television, man. It's the worst wrestling show in the history of pro wrestling. Jesse, what the fuck are you timing Edgar out for, bro? Edgar just donated $100. Edgar with a $100 super chat. Yo, my brother JD, great review. Fan-fucking-tastic intro, bro. Do you think that this Roman heel run would still be as great as you and others say it is if Paul Heyman wasn't involved? Daniel Bryan should have been the number one to face Roman at WrestleMania. Have a great weekend, OTS fam. Edgar, to answer your question, honestly, I don't think it would have been as good if Paul Heyman was not involved. That's not a knock on Roman Reigns. I just think Paul Heyman is a special type of individual. Everything he does is just, it just resonates as important, you know? But Edgar, thank you for the $100, bro. Thank you to Paul Wu for the $200 super chat, man. You guys are making tonight really, really special. You showed up for one part of the rebranding, man. Thank you. JD23 with a $10 super chat. Asuka hasn't defended her title in 6 months, which is ridiculous. You don't have to tell me. I know. And Sasha has faced Carmella repeatedly with nobody else built up for her. It's like WWE doesn't care about women's wrestling at all. They don't. WWE is only pushing women's wrestling because at this point they have to. Bruce and Vince don't give a shit. At all. Indigo with a $5 super chat. Much respect, JD. That intro was too fire. As always, I can't wait for tomorrow OTS and the first episode of the CNC, which I can't wait for either. Another awesome live stream, bro. Thank you, Indigo, you fucking beast. Jackson23 with a $9.99 super chat. I saw the promotion for Raw tonight. I'm praying to the wrestling gods that Drew McIntyre does not cause the DQ in the Bobby Lashley Miz title match, or I will lose it. Listen, man, Drew is an honorable champion. Drew's the type of guy where he would let Lashley win just so that it would bring him great satisfaction to beat Lashley and take the title from Bobby Lashley, not The Miz. The Miz is irrelevant in this situation. I hope to God that's not the case either. Bobby Lashley must win the Universal Champion, or the WWE Championship. Not the Universal Championship, the WWE Championship. Listen, for those people asking to become a mod, don't ask Jesse, man. The only one with the power to make mods here is me. At this point, Jesse's gonna be a fucking barback if he doesn't cut the shit out. Hoot Media at the VIP table. Edgar at the VIP table. Hoolagrim at the VIP table. Rage at the VIP table. Stop asking me to be a mod. Jesse, the ice bins need to be filled. Get moving, geek. Joe F. Meltzer became top heel today online. Good. Dave Meltzer, I'm sure, sleeps so good at night knowing that he has everybody on strings. You're getting upset at irrelevant awards that don't mean a fucking thing. By the way, The Fiend is the worst character in WWE. Don't even at me. Now, I will say this. The Fiend is now worse than Retribution, but The Fiend is up there. Just reverse the two. D'Angelo with a $5 super chat. Did you hear about Booker T blasting Matt Riddle for his response to The Undertaker calling the current roster soft? I swear this dude is such a clown. Bro, I do not give a single solitary fuck what Booker T has to say. Booker T says shit on his show just because his show needs traction and attention. He's an idiot. The guy said Baron Corbin plays a better king than Stone Cold Steve Austin. That may be true, but to say that Baron Corbin's a better king of the ring than Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro, you lost all of my attention once that statement was made. Jericho, 8131, $10 super chat. A friend reminded me that 1 year ago today, Goldberg buried the Fiend in the Saudi Arabian sands. Just thought I'd share with everybody here so I didn't have to suffer that memory alone. Now you reminded me. Why do I have to be reminded of that terrible situation? Listen, Jesse, I agree with Edgar, bro. Go clean the fucking toilets, geek. Not only are you a barback and the ice needs to be filled, go empty the tip jar out, put it in my office, and go clean the fucking toilets. Listen, RYC, you ain't no fucking janitor at my club, bro. You could be a bouncer. You bounce everybody fucking out. Bounce Jesse out of here, man. Jason Tar with a $2 super chat. Just signed up to CNC. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Jason. Fucking beast, man. Mr. Cake, $2 super chat. In this case, poor Juice Robinson. What happened to Juice Robinson, man? Did Tony Storm dump Juice Robinson? Well, let me find out, man. DeVar Davis with a $5 super chat. Big Show has broken free from the shackles, but people like Mustafa Ali are still slaves. Good for him. Listen, man. We might have to put some respect on Paul White's name. As long as he stays out of the ring. Listen, Jesse, cancel Edgar is not trending, bro. Nobody could get rid of Edgar, man. Yo, Kong Brooks. I'll show your fucking sister what Kong really looks like, bro. Get him the fuck out of here. There you go. Glad you enjoyed your 5 seconds of shot tonight. Benched. In the dumpster behind the venue you go. Trash. Jaxo, 23 with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, I cannot wait for you to do the Big Show impression on AEW Wednesdays. I might not be doing it on Wednesdays, man. I might hurt Tony Schiavone's feelings. Mr. Cake, $2 super chat. Juice has a bunch of voodoo dolls is all. Yeah, poor Tony Storm, man. Maybe he put a hex on her. That's why she's with him. I have no idea. I'm John. Hi AF. Brooks. N-word. Support Wrestle Geeks. Fuck him. Fuck out of here, man. Yet you're over here watching my fucking much more superior show. Guys, I'm about to get out of here, man. What a night. What a night, man. We got the new intro. We got the rebranding underway. And more still to come, man. Appreciate you guys showing the support. CNC tomorrow. Make sure you guys sign up, support, subscribe. Episode 1 coming at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Green Host 2212. Yo, JD, you need to bring back hate mail. No, YouTube is a bunch of sensitive pussies, bro. I would, but I can't. Anyway, guys, CNC tomorrow, 1 p.m. Off the script tomorrow, 5 p.m. I'm taking Sunday off. I'll be back on Monday live with Monday Night Raw, Bobby Lashley, hopefully the new WWE champion. If you enjoyed tonight's video, tonight's live stream, hit that thumbs up, man. We are not that far off from 1,000. Let's try and get it. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, turn on the bell for all notifications. If you missed any of the content on the channel, make sure you go and check it out. Links are down below. Patreon.com/JDfromNY206. Twitter and Instagram. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. And as always, guys, I will see you all on Saturday for OTS. Excellent stuff. Talk about Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar, and why it needs to be the way it needs to be, and fuck the Miz, man. But I'm telling you, I'm grabbing my cold beverage. You know what time it is, guys. You ready for more? I'll see you guys on Saturday for OTS. Turn up that music knob to full blast, man. Windows are down. Mustang is revved up. I'm driving away. And I'll see you guys on Saturday nights. for Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.